Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk Show, and today we will be talking about the news that came out literally 5 minutes ago. I want to get a video out for you guys, and that is that Carson Wentz was traded for a second and a third round pick. So, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say it's a steal, but the question is it a steal for what team? Carson Wentz 3 years ago was an MVP candidate, and then he tore his ACL, and Nick Foles took over, as we all know the story. And then obviously he beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Um, Carson Wentz, since that injury, and then he's been injured over and over again, just hasn't really looked at that type of hasn't looked like that type of player that he was in 2017, 2018 season, I believe. But there's also a lot of issues that go along with that. The Eagles, specifically last year, which was probably his worst year since that MVP year, which is why everyone was so pissed, wanted to move on from him. He was the most sacked quarterback in the league by far. Their O-line was destroyed. I don't even think Brandon Brooks played this year, who was their best lineman. And not to mention, their offense was not good at all. They were always injured. Zach Ertz isn't the same player, and I'm sure a regular NFL fan couldn't even name a receiver besides maybe Jalen Reagor. But he didn't do that well this year. Alshon Jeffrey was out. Deshaun Jackson played like one game, I believe, and then got hurt. Their team was just completely torn by injuries, and it was not a good place for Carson to show out. You can't really expect much from Carson. He was getting pressured every 2 snaps. And he has no receivers to throw to. Obviously, there were a lot of plays by Carson Wentz that was his fault. He made some bad throws, some overthrows, some really just got lurked, fumbled the ball a little too much. There were a few issues with Carson Wentz. But the reason why I like this trade so much, if he went to the Bears, I would have been like, all right, he's going to a bad offense. It's not going to do well. The Colts, they have a solid offense, a great offensive line, something Wentz hasn't had in a few years. And he has his head coach, who was the offensive coordinator during his MVP caliber year, which is great for him, right? He's very close with Reich. Reich's very close with him. Reich knows how to make Wentz into the player he was, and I'm sure he'll be able to do that. And also with the Colts, they had Phillip Rivers starting last year, and they made it to the playoffs, and they almost beat the team that was in the AFC Championship, the Buffalo Bills, in round one. There were a few issues with flags, that people were a little upset. And they were a Hail Mary catch away from winning. That defense is amazing. Their offensive line is still fantastic, especially with Quentin Nelson there. The running backs are great. Taylor and Hines are a nice duo. I like how they have the rushing game and passing game back there. And the receivers aren't terrible. T.Y. Hilton slowly coming down the mountain, but that's okay. He could still give you 800-ish yards. Michael Pittman started to really show out at the end of the season, specifically in the playoffs. He looked good. You have Zach Pascal there, Mo Alley Cox, Ebron. I mean, it's a solid. Or is Ebron the Steelers now? I think he's on the Steelers. I don't know why I said Ebron. But it's a solid team to build around. Maybe look for a little more pieces in free agency / the draft. But I think, it could be a steal. I think at the end of this, we're either going to be saying it's a steal for the Colts or a steal for the Eagles, right? Because if Carson Wentz starts to show out, a second and a third is not much for a solid quarterback in this league, right? Watson, for Deshaun, they're going to have to give up 3 firsts and 2 seconds or something. So second and third's nothing if you're going to get a solid quarterback out of it. However, if Carson Wentz really, isn't the same player, which we'll actually be able to find out here because he's in a pretty perfect scenario for him. His old coach, great offensive line, good weapons, a great defense. Then, we could be like, what, the Eagles absolutely fleeced. They got a second and a third for a quarterback that won't be on the team in a year. And, I think it's gonna be a fleece either way. Either the Colts dominated the trade, the Eagles dominated the trade, and that's what's going to be so interesting to see this year is how is Carson Wentz going to play, because we've seen Carson Wentz play at such high levels. At the same time, we've seen him play at such low levels. And that's what we're going to have to wait for in a few months to see. Is Carson Wentz the player he used to be, or has his body given up on him, because he's been through a lot of injuries, the concussion 2 years ago, the constant leg issues. He's just been through a lot, and I'm hoping for Carson Wentz. I'm a Cowboys fan, as some of you may know. So don't dislike the video now if you've made it this far. Please, I shouldn't have said that. But the Colts, they're a fun team, and I would love to see them succeed. I think it'd be dope for Carson Wentz. I think it'd be a nice story for him, and I think it would, I think it'd just be great. And also, as I said, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I hope the Eagles lose this trade, get destroyed by it, and I hope they're looking back and really regretting they traded the man. So yeah, guys, I didn't want to make this too long. Just wanted to get this video out as quick as I can. Carson went to the Colts. Massive trade. Not really massive. We'll see if it's a massive trade down the line. But, a big trade to start the NFL free agency. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. I actually had a quiz planned out to post today, but that will wait for tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.